I have a bit of an issue in my world, and that is every bit of redstone farms and contraptions that I have are outdated and broken. And the newest farm that I have is the Iron Phoenix from 1.12, which was way older than this update, so this definitely doesn't work anymore. Hello everybody, I am Mr. Saturday, and I hope you are having a beautiful, wonderful day. My day is going fantastic, and I think it is about time that we brought some farmage into my world and, get things going. Now, I don't want super farms in this world. I know the Iron Phoenix was a bit of a super farm during 1.12. It was about the best iron farm you could possibly build, but I don't want any of that in this world. I like to mine things by hand. I just want some farms that take the edge off the grinding process a little bit, but nothing like over the top where it gives you like so many thousands of blocks like per hour or whatever. Just enough. So one of the first farms we're going to be working on is super simple. And here we are at the redstone testing lab. Don't judge it too harshly. It's not done yet whatsoever. But I do like having a little redstone up at the top with this big open door. The farm that we're going to be working on is Dripstone. Now, I have a little bit of Dripstone on me, right? This is a really nice brown block, and from what I understand, it farms pretty slow, right? And you do need, I think you do need these for the farm. I'm not entirely too sure, right? So this is the reason why we have this little lab here. Now, I brought an observer with me, some redstone, a couple of pistons, and some building blocks because we're going to try to come up with a little bit of a design while we're here, right? Something to go off of before we build the main thing. Now, I think this has a bit of a trickiness to it, right? So when you go to build this thing, it's similar to this, and I think there has to be water on top for it to grow, which I'm pretty sure. And oh, it's dripping water now. I don't know if that will make it grow or anything, but when it grows, it could grow either the bottom, and if we break this, or it could grow from the top. If I can aim just slightly into one of these big ones, right? And this is technically touching the ground, even though it doesn't look like it. So this could be a bit of an issue, right? So if we have, let's see how we're gonna do this. If we have our building blocks like this, and we're gonna have to go up a couple. If we have an observer here, which that's the wrong way, that's pretty cool. So if we place the observer like this, we could do a piston on the bottom. But we have to leave the thing on it in order for it to grow, right? So we have to leave this little dripstone bit, this little pointed dripstone. So if we build something up here and have it drip downwards like that, it will eventually get to the observer and the observer will see it. But the main issue is when we do finally have it grow again, like let's say it comes to here or maybe here. Oh, okay, so it doesn't work that way too well. Okay, so look, there's the piston, it moved. So if we aim down like this, it updated once but didn't break anything. So if we update the big guy again, which is kind of hard to aim at this angle, it will break this and this will continue to be in the way. But it still seems to work. So that might not be as big of an issue as I thought it was going to be. I mean, that is kind of cool. So what I was actually thinking though is if we could get the top one too, like in front of the observer, but without busting like the main one that we need. So we'd have to make this guy just like a little bit taller. I'm gonna do my best to make this a little bit taller. We're gonna need pretty much all of this back. There we go. Oh yeah, I gotta be careful. Those things can hurt. So we're gonna need like a piston here, an observer facing this way, right? Because we want to observe it, and then a piston here, because we want to be able to break the one that's going on the bottom, and we want to break Not the very top, but all of this stuff out of the middle too. Like, we want to collect everything. Let's see. Can I go ahead and just pillar up there? Yeah, we'll go ahead and pillar up here. And this dripstone will come from right here. And that way, when this one grows, you know, there'll be something above this piston right here, of course. Now when something grows, it should leave this top one, but break everything along the bottom. So we can go ahead and do something like this. Oh yeah, of course it won't update because we don't actually add the redstone to it. Now, can we add redstone to this? And it get the top and bottom, so... What about... You know what, we'll test it. We'll place a block here. That definitely got the top piston. Is there a way for it to get the bottom piston? Yes, okay, so it would look something like this right here. At least in the back. And that way, when we do all of this, we could have it grow and it would break it. Or if it decides to grow down from this way, because some dripstone does, you know, it grows from the top and bottom and it tries to connect in the middle, it will bust. So we have actually a pretty decent design. This is definitely you know, you could do it in modules and it could go straight across, which will be really convenient. All we got to do is make sure we add the water up there. I'm pretty sure these guys can't grow without the water, and they grow incredibly slow. And I think this build is going to go right here with the rest of the builds that we have here. And here is the outside building. I love the way that this had came out. Took me a lot of quartz, went mining in the nether for a good bit of quartz. It's got a little bit of snow. I like all the little detaily bits. And on the inside, there's no interior. No interior whatsoever. And that is because we need to build the farm before I could build the rest of the interior to this place. And right up here is a beautiful second floor. I love the way this second floor is. We're definitely going to have to put something in here for sure. I'm pretty sure I want the farm to be on the first floor though, at least this one. And we do got some dimensions to work out. So we do have like this big window here, and we do need a place for a minecart system, right? We want it to be able to pick up the stuff, and it's going to have to pick it up through full blocks. So it does need a little track that goes back and forth. And we need enough wall space to actually put all the redstone in. Which we probably do that first. Just to kind of decide like how much space we need, right? Because there's going to be a block coming off the observer. Of course, the observer is going to be the other way around. And then a piston and a piston below. Actually, that's probably the perfect height for it, right? Yeah, because you want the yeah, because there will be redstone dust on this that will help hit both pistons. Okay, so this should be it. We just gotta flip that guy around. So we'll do something like this right here, and bust that out. And I'm thinking I love these things. I love how they don't do what they're supposed to. Like, how? Now I got all the observers facing the right way. So this isn't going to be a very big farm in my world, but if you're following along, at least this design can be expanded upon, And if you wanted to save resources, at least when it comes to the observer department, you could cut out like every couple of observers and just connect the redstone up. But I'm just going to go ahead and do every one. And we're going to need the piston on the bottom so we can get the bottom bits. And then we're also going to need the piston on top. So we should have enough room upstairs right here. Not upstairs, but enough room on the top of it as well to put in the little dripstone bit. But this is also where we need to figure out where this is. So there is the bottom, right? And then we're going to have possibly that there. And we're not going to need one there because that's the wall. And maybe somewhere in the middle right here, right? We're going to do like a temporary little place for it to collect, right? We need a place to store it. Now I'm not going to be able to get out of here, so we're going to destroy this track so I can easily get in and out. Place a chest there, place that there, and then we can put that block back. So we want our hopper minecart to travel over this. And I did bring some rails with me. Really, we just need like maybe 1 or 2 power rails on the sides. And then the rest of these can be regular rails like this. And we'll go ahead and get that lever. That should power that. Will this power that block? It will indeed. I'm definitely going to have to change some things around so this looks a little bit better when we do the interior. But it's coming together so far. Like this right here. I'm going to have to put some kind of glass to keep this in. But I really want to get this farm kind of up and going just to see what it is like for everybody, right? We want everyone to see it. I'm pretty sure it doesn't go there. Yeah, let's take this back out. It's one more down, right? Because we got to leave room in order to put the redstone here. And then we could do the one on the back of the observer. Because we need both of these from our little testing phase. So let's go ahead and get out the redstone. There should be a redstone line with all of these pistons. And if we can't do that jump, unfortunately. Oh yeah, that was definitely, what was I thinking? That's definitely 1 block higher. So we'll go ahead and put these on the back of the observers like this. And connect all of the redstone dust to these pistons. And that should be everything redstone wise. Like the rest of this is, we get out our dripstone, we measure it in the correct spot, right? So we're going to need one here, and then the dripstone goes there. Yeah, this is going to look kind of funny through the window, but that's okay. It's still a really nice build. It's just going to have this really big, I want to say weird looking farm. It's not an ugly farm. I do like the way that redstone farms look. I know some people find redstone farms kind of ugly. But to me, redstone farms look pretty cool. I like the way that they look most of the time. Now, I'm not going to lie. There is some ugly ones, right? If I could think of them off the top of my head. I can't think of any off the top of my head. But I know there are some ugly ones. And it's going to bother me later when I finally remember. But genuinely, to me, redstone farms don't look too bad. We could do this just to make it match in the front, right? We're just gonna block that window off. It's just gonna have a weird look from the window, and I'm pretty sure we're already gonna have to do some weird designs in here, right? And I don't know if all of these have to be source blocks or not. But we're going to go ahead and make them source blocks just for, you know, convenience. Can I get out this way? Like the way that I came in to get all these blocks? Oh, no, I can't. I'm trapped by stairs. Okay. So we'll go ahead and take the unnecessary blocks out, which should be those. And that is the farm done. Now, when these bust, they're going to go flying everywhere, right? So we are going to need some kind of shield out front. I just completely demolished the interior of this building, but you know what? It's okay. That was the purpose of this building, right? So I'm gonna get some glass and we're gonna figure this bit out. Okay, so I've been playing with this for a minute now, just trying to come up with a good look. And the deep slate is probably something that's going to change, but I did want to make this look a bit more classic. You know, like what kind of like the machines in the 1800s, what they would picture machines would look like, right? They were got like the little wood bits all over them. They looked a bit old, or to us now they look old, but to them, you know, it looked brand new, and that's how they thought the future was going to look, type of ordeal, right? So I went with that kind of feel because, um, to be honest with you, that's what this building kind of reminds me of. It kind of reminds me of a bank, maybe a bank in a weird way. It's not quite a bank, but that's what it keeps reminding me of. So I wanted to give it more of a classical looking feel to it. Bit of an older machine. And we do have our dripstone growing, and it's not going to, like I said, these things do not grow fast, like at all, and that is perfectly fine with me. I'm fine with mining a bunch of it out, but it is nice to have, you know, some backup where I come right here and it's like, oh yeah, there's some in my farm right here. I can go ahead and craft blocks out of it, or leave it as the little pointy bits. I know you can use these as decorations as well for all different kind of stuff. So that's going to be fun to play with. And to be honest with you, it's kind of like the rest of my farms on here. Really, the outlier farm is the Iron Phoenix. The rest of these farms that I had were small. And the only farm that I have left that still works is also a small version of what people normally make, right? So I have this little bitty cactus farm, right? It's got 3 and it looks like 4 up. Wait, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, it's 3 down and 4 up, 2 wide. All right, not very big. Gets me what I need. Most of the time I have way more than I'll ever use. I thought I would be using more of this green dye for the rest of the museum, and that technically that cactus farm was built before I had the idea of making this entire mountain out of different build styles. But either way, I just want little micro farms like that in my world. I don't want anything like super overpowered or anything. And this will definitely be enough. Now, we do have to think of something to put in the second floor, which I cannot think of right now. So maybe that's a future thing, or if you have any suggestions, what we could put up there, we could put something up there. I'm all, you know, eyes. I would say ears, but I read y'all's comments. So I guess I'm all eyes, looking out for those. Got any suggestions? Leave them. I'll put something cool up there, and I will attach your name to it. I'm already thinking of a build. I have it drawn in my notepad for this little elbow bit. And what I mean by like a little elbow bit is like, I want this to be a walkway and this to be a door, right? So immediately you're going to walk into this building and have to turn to the wider bit right here, which I think is going to be really cool, because then we could play with like the width of this building on, you know, back this way a little bit. We can't go any further that way because that's there, but this we can definitely play with and even have some more buildings lined up this way, which I'm really excited about. We are going to go ahead and do the comment question of the day, and today's comment question is from Two Left Hands, and it says, was that the gorilla? And I don't know, maybe that is him. We'll never know. That is all I got time for in today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have, and I cannot wait to start this new journey where we test out different redstone things in a new redstone lab, or, you know, testing facility. I still got to build that up a pretty good bit. I wanted to go ahead and get most of the building up so we could try it for, you know, today. And I'm definitely going to build that up more, and maybe even put like little mementos, right, of like different redstone bits and bobs we came up with in there. So like maybe some item frames and like the dripstone, right? So we did the dripstone today. There could be a little item frame with a dripstone in it, and that's where we came up with that machine. But like I said, this is all I got time for. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.